Well, here we are, everybody. We, of course, are returning to BTS, and today is Hooligan Day. Yes, indeed. Very excited. And, if you're new here, my name is Aaron, and I try to help you love the music that you already like. And right now, if you are interested and you like D&D, over right now, I'm doing some special content on the shorts for BTS, which is me choosing where every single member of BTS belongs in D&D. So yeah, it's kind of a fun little thing. I'm just doing it based on kind of what I know and what I think fits best. So obviously some things might be different, but hey, got to keep things fresh, right? Anyway, let's check out the Hooligan music video. Ooh.
Watch this beat going hooligan. We pop out, we acting a fool again. Hooligan. Watch this beat going hooligan.
Where this baseline slapping so rude, dropping lower than drop this
Hooligan. Watch this beat going hooligan. Man, I'm about to blow a fuse. 동제 보는 머리춤 뛰어 미친 노인들 Me everywhere ursu Somebody move 다들 모여 하나 둘 I can never ever choose Every one of you amuse Crowd looking like a campus Beat dropping dancing Watch this beat going hooligan We pop out, we acting a fool again Hooligan Watch this beat going hooligan
Where this baseline slapping so rude, dropping lower than drop this
Hooligan Watch this beat going hooligan
I go cool, crazy, don't go say me Like it cool, 굳이 말 안 해도 알잖아 Hooligan like hooligan 때려 부셔 like hooligan 시간 됐으니 좀 비켜 좀 말걸리 이상 뭐
That's cool. Whoa.
Take you out. What's the future? What's the now? This is international. Make it unforgettable.
Watch this beat going hooligan We pop out, we acting a fool again Hooligan Watch this beat going hooligan
Yeah, we the mess, gonna get a bigger mop here This a cake, gotta get a better pop here You gon' hear this one playing round the clock, yeah Round the clock
Why this baseline slapping so rude, dropping lower than drop this
Hooligan Watch this beat going hooligan
Why this baseline slapping so rude, dropping
I like their makeup.
drop this
Hooligan Watch this beat going hooligan
That's cool. Hannah Lux Davis. Okay, the interesting thing is like, to me, obviously this is not my cup of tea when it comes to music fully. And for me, like, I think the song is pretty good. I definitely feel like that this is probably one of the ones that I feel like is a little bit on the lower end of Arirang, but to be honest though, at the same time, I feel like that when this song comes on, I do kind of like, "Wah," you know? It does have like this really nice, um, I would say industrial sound first and foremost, but there's a couple things that I think is really interesting. First and foremost, I feel like that this has a lot of every member's like identity kind of put into it, because obviously I actually think this laugh is so Hobie, right?
Hooligan, watch this bit go.
But like it's really weird. It's a really weird song if I'm being honest. I find it to be a weird song. And there's a couple of people in BTS that I feel like weird music, such as Namjoon and Tae. I feel like that obviously, and I've said this multiple times, but Namjoon's last solo album definitely was not my cup of tea. But you know what? The influence is here on this song. And I actually think I prefer this sound. And I think that this works for me better. So I think that that's true too. But I think one thing that's actually kind of interesting is I think this actually has a little bit of Tae built into this, which is like right after this part. You'll hear this like violin run come through that just sounds like the old school music that Tae really, really likes.
Is watch this bit go, we hooligan.
Where this baseline slapping so rude, driving lower than truck and screw.
Watch this beat going.
See what I'm saying? Like, that to me is very like old school golden era of Hollywood kind of vibes to it. And this to me is one of those moments that I think about a lot, because to me, when I listen to this song, I find one thing to be very interesting. And I know this sounds weird to say, but there's been a few songs that I think legitimately, especially from BTS, is specifically written for this reason. To me, I think the big thing is first and foremost, some songs were just made to kind of not be pleasant. Because I think that that's one of those things where when you make a song like this that is kind of actively pushing against the kind of normal standard of beautiful music, even though it has moments in there, I think they purposely made it kind of weird and feel like this because it's the test to see who, you know, I think this is kind of a test to see who kind of really messes with their actual style. I think that this is kind of one of those things where it's like they knew who they made it for, which is generally themselves and for ARMY. And, you know, I totally understand the sentiment. There are actual like genres of music, especially like in the metal world, where the whole idea is if like it's counter to the usual what you would expect. So it sounds rough. It's meant to be recorded kind of like in a rough sense on like inferior quality equipment. Obviously, I'm not saying that this is, but the idea to me is what, when I listen to this is the test to see kind of if I'm being honest, is like the idea is like, if you don't like this and, you know, it could be like if you're new, for example, if you're kind of only on the shallow level of BTS listening music, this might come across as like really abrasive. And I think that's the idea, is like it's meant to kind of challenge that and be like, hey, you know, we do this. And the funny thing is this is not the first time that they've made a song that kind of feels a little bit like that, you know? So again, I think it's one of those things. It's like you say, listen to everything. But to me personally, like, that's what I truly appreciate about it, because I think like this and Aliens, for example, although probably my like least favorite songs on the album personally, I like the fact that they're on there. Mainly because the fact of the matter is, to me, they write this kind of music to be like, oh, you listen to everything, you know? And again, even though I don't really like necessarily say that this is my favorite, I just love the fact that like they're willing to be like, no, we write music like this, and you don't have to like it. We wrote this for a specific reason. So to me, I actually really appreciate that. So there's a lot of that in there for me, but like each member has like a distinct sound and like a distinct identity, and I think they kind of all wrap it up into this song fairly effectively. I honestly think that's kind of cool. I do. So that's my personal opinion. I think it's a very good, like, especially for hip hop, which I don't generally care for. I do think that it's actually pretty good for hip hop. Next, we are moving on to the dance practice of Hooligan. Yeah, this is a Hooligan week. But in any case, yeah, let's check it out. I love that, like, little playfulness right there at the beginning.
Let's go! Watch this beat go, we hooligan.
Whoa! That's cool. I really like this. Oh yeah.
Hey! Let's go! We the mess, gonna get a bigger pop here. This a cake, gotta get a better pop here.
Dang.
This one playing round the clock, yeah. Round the clock. Watch this beat going hooligan.
Okay. No, this is super sick. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. And it's not even necessarily for the choreography. This, to me, might be, in terms of dance practice videos, top 3 all the time. The reason why I like this so much is because, if I'm being honest, a lot of times when we watch dance practices, it's kind of like the final product, right? So there's a lot of really crisp and, finished, polished work. And it's fine, and I do like to watch those, but to me, this sounds like when I used to be in ballroom, and it's not just like this quiet, like people hitting their movements and going to another spot and hitting their next movements and doing their choreography. You will hear people be like, hey, get over there, no, drop, like it's generally has this kind of like feel to it, where it's like, you'll hear people talking and being like, this is the next part, go here, drop, and you don't just hear people like you'll hear him go, yeah! Like, this is a dance practice. This feels like an actual dance practice. Sorry, I probably peaked the microphone like crazy there. But, like, in reality, when I listen to this, like, this is what it sounds like when you do dance practices. Like, you hear people yelling off, you hear the people calling out the commands and reminding people of their spots. And to me, that's cool, because this is not just like to show off the choreography. It's supposed to be a practice. And this feels like a dance practice. And I really appreciate that. This is just brings back so many good memories. But another thing that I want to say too, though, that I just really appreciate about the feeling of this choreography is the fact that it is extremely, I feel like, just chaotic, but it's like a controlled chaos. Like, everybody seems like they're doing their own thing. They're all kind of going crazy, taking up a lot of space. Every movement is kind of eye-catching, so it forces your vision to kind of be trying to look for everything. But in reality, the thing that's really cool, though, is that because they're keeping that time, and the BTS is kind of in the middle of that, being the calm in the crazy, it kind of creates this beautiful, like, really cool, almost optical illusion feel behind it all. And one thing that I actually really like too about this is that it really feels like when I'm watching this, there is that urban feel. And I didn't quite talk about that as much because I kind of wanted to talk about it here. Because, like, yeah, the sound is very urban, where it feels like almost like a concrete jungle in the middle of the rain. But to me, this is a good representation of it, because, like, we got the crazy, we got the calm, and then there's moments in this where you'll see them doing all the crazy dancing and all the crazy moments here. Then also you see something super classical like ballet poses in the middle of it. Seeing, like, they throw in the hip hop in with it, and I think, to me personally, I think that's really cool, because to me, like, that's one of the things, urban and, like, modern, this feeling of just, like, everything works together. There's the classic, there's the chaos, there's the hip hop, there's the ballet, it's the melting pot of all these different types of moments and feelings. To me, I just really think that they really nailed this. I really do. I really think that when you watch this, to me personally, it's just embodies the whole idea of everything urban and, like, modern, and also the idea of just that whole feeling of almost like what it's like to live in a busy city. So I think that this, to me, like I said, this choreography, this dance practice is probably in top 3, because this feels like an actual dance practice, and I love to see that. Finally, like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's awesome. And last but not least, we're going to be doing the behind the scenes as well. I'm just going to throw everything in this onto one long video, and we can just enjoy it all in one shot. I know I say this like every single week, but, like, Jimin, the styling, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite eras of Jimin.
되게 처음 보는 컨셉이다.
그래도 뭔가
메이크업 말고는 그래도 몇 번 봤던 머리들이
That's true. Very old school.
Watch this beat going hooligan. We pop out, we acting a fool again.
우리가 뭐 watch this beat going 우리 원래 왔었던 그런 거
Honestly, the whole styling that they have this time to me is so cool. Just like this really almost a like cyberpunk kind of design, because like I know a lot of people think about like, oh, maybe like cyberpunk or like future dystopian is like always super colorful, like has all this stuff, but like to me, I always think of like that dark, gritty, like broken down city. Everybody's wearing leathers and dark, clothing, and just like interesting, intricate styles that really highlight that. And I love the styling. Like this might be in some ways some of my favorite styling that BTS has ever had in any of their stylings.
여러분 안녕하세요. 혹시 이런 인사를 하셨을 텐가 있으면 저희 홀리건 촬영하고 있습니다.
I think one of the most interesting things is how this time around we're really seeing Hobie come out. I mean, he didn't have much of a shell and like anything like that, but I love being able to see how he controls and has his ideas and his vision and able to execute and manage how he sees it in his mind, and seeing it just all brought together like this is so cool. You can really see. The interesting thing is, to me, is like when you think of Hobie, I always just think of this crazy, eccentric, happy-go-lucky kind of person. But when you watch like the way he controls the scenes and what he's talking about, and like the moments that he's wanting to see done in just like such a way, he really has this like interesting, calm, but like authoritative feel to it, where it's just like, oh yeah, I think he's right. He's got that feel to it. So it's really cool because, honestly, at the same time too, what he's talking about. That he knows what he's talking about. He is extremely authoritative, especially when it comes to like the vision and the choreography and like the concept. It's really something that really fits him. I know people always hate it when I bring up other groups when I talk about, especially like with BTS, but like to me personally, this era for Hobie kind of feels like this is his G-Dragon era. It's kind of almost what it feels like to me. I just love how he's handling it all. It just comes across really cool. I just feel like that there's just this new flavor that he's been kind of able to add and show that really, really kind of reminds me a little bit of that. And I really appreciate the fact that he has such a unique styling.
분명히 같이 있을 때 시너지가 조금 더 큰 것 같아요.
The video of Jin trying to get the mask on. It's so funny. He's trying so hard to get that up and it just doesn't work. It's so funny. In the concert, obviously. And one thing I also have to say I really appreciate about this new era is because at this point, all of them have been kind of to the point where like they've all made their solo music and they kind of know more how it works. Because, like, obviously they've always been hands-on, but this is, like, experienced final boss level of, like, they all know what they're doing and know what to see and know what they're looking for and, you know, all that. To me, it's just so... It's so cool to see how well this all kind of forms, and, like, they all just have this knowledge and being like, okay, yeah, this is it. No, not this. I don't know. It's just so cool to see them so experienced. It's such a different level.
Go sing like it cool 굳이 말 안 해도 알잖아.
마주치고 하는 거 말고 끝까지 그냥 카메라 앞에 달라.
So like hooligan 시간 됐으니 좀 뺏겨쯤 말걸리 이상 뭐.
What a cool microphone stand. Yeah.
Watch this beat going hooligan.
Namjoon's hair is especially very much a throwback, I feel like a very early 2000s throwback.
We pop out, we acting on hooligan. Hooligan. Watch this beat going.
Half of this comes, right?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Just for that part?
Yeah, everything else could be the same.
Hooligan. Watch this beat going hooligan.
바람이 너무 세다.
It makes your hair flow better.
Let it space and stop it so rude. Trapping lower than chopping screws.
와, 댄서분들 다 했다. 야, 맛있다. 딜리셔스.
컨 너무 좋은데 지금.
말 안 해도 알잖아. Hooligan like hooligan. 내 포션 like hooligan. 시간 됐으니
That's
좀
cool.
뺏겨쯤 말걸리 이상 뭐.
You know, I just really do think that this comeback is... I know there's been some talk around this comeback, you know, obviously. I have been enjoying it, though. I think that this has been such a cool way, especially since, like, this is technically my first BTS comeback. And I think they've done a lot of really cool, different things. And I think especially for this comeback, the music's been different. The comeback feels different. I like the fact that, like, they're doing all these different interviews, like Hot Ones and the Rolling Stones, and, like, getting really in the deep and nitty and gritty. And I just feel like that this has been such a cool way to kind of see a reintroduction and, like, a new side. I really do. I think that they do such a good job with this. I love this. I think this was actually a really cool behind the scenes, especially since, like, a lot of times when people do this, it's always dragged out for so long. Like, sure, it's cool to see, like, every drop in detail, but sometimes it's just best to get the highlights and kind of understand where they were coming from. So anyway, yeah, thank you all so much. I hope that you had as much fun as this and with this as I did. I've actually been really super happy with this. This has been such a cool comeback for me personally. So anyway, thank you all so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.